to another episode of the Pacific Health Talanoa with Lorenzo Kaisara on Blue TV. A weekly COVID-19 update with Lefionga Tuifaasisina Maria Lafaele, one of the Pacific leadership team members from the Northern Region Health Coordination Center. We are o ngafa malefanga soloina o le tuipui I tua le community in nei I Aukilani. So it is great to have Tuifaasisina Maria Lafaele on our show again to give us an update about the vaccination rates for Pacific population and also some upcoming drive-through vaccination events in Auckland, so you know where to take your ainga and your mates to get vaccinated and to give Delta the biggest high tackle and also the double jabs. Welcome on the show to Tuifaasisina Malo so for more malangema.
Yeah, malo foile so for more malangema la wafionga Lorenzo. Yeah, fatalo fat for ila wafionga. Yeah, me se foi la fanga luenga. Olo tato mafuta pe so I vai taitasi ya soluluuma. Yeah, wa foi fata Talanoa ina. Yeah, male longo po ali for yo si tato atnu. Good afternoon, or yes, good afternoon to all our listeners and everyone who's tuning in to this time. I always look forward to this time to have a Talanoa with you and give an update on how we're going as well with our Pacific vaccination program in Auckland.
Once again, thank you so much for Tuifaasisina Vatele Vanoa Lo'o Fapena o le mafuta mai ai pea ilunga o le Blue TV. Mala Pacific Health Talanoa e tuna mai foi ia sina ripoti mani talalata mai o le whamai. Tau mua lava, a very successful events on Saturday, led and coordinated by our Samoan youth Tuifaasasi. And whaina e share mai I le tatu event te whamui.
There's so many events happening at the moment across the whole of Auckland, West, Central, and as well as South Auckland. But there's always those events that's really quite unique. And so this was a very unique event because it was driven by our youth, our Tupulanga Samoa. And also I saw that there was a collaboration across the region from Manuera to Henderson, North Shore, and then to Mangele Youth. They all collaborate together to rally behind to bringing all their sisters and brothers in the youth that they were targeting to get vaccinated. And so in terms of the running of the event, it was a fantastic, it was quite successful because we seen the youth coming through and also the age group that they were targeting. So that was a great outcome and a really great outcome and a positive outcome for that event because it was driven by the youth. So it was, we were really, really, really happy with the outcome that came through that event. And also we wanted to encourage through that event. They have done 3 events before. So I think it's going to encourage them to do more of those events. Because I think this time that we've got this little cohort, this cohort of people that's left that haven't been vaccinated, and it's the same age group that we're trying to target from 16 to 34. That's still the highest group that we haven't vaccinated yet. So it's so good to see our youth mobilizing, reaching out through social media, through their own networks, through their own platforms to bring forward their sisters and brothers to get vaccinated. And we saw that on Saturday.
Absolutely. Shout out to Malai Pule Tauvau, Elangata Foilea, Ole Tofina Fatoina Fesola, Ilova Piano, Mafuta Mai, all the way from Queensland, Brisbane. Wow, thank you so much for tuning in. But Pacific Health Talanoa was at the event on Saturday on behalf of Blue TV, and yes, we witnessed our young people, our youth leaders rallying together to bring a youth-led events to life. What a great achievement. And if I can summarize what I saw on Saturday is that they actually sent a message to our politicians and our Pacific leaders that our young people, our youth can do anything if they get the right support and the resources that they need. Now, today, Tuifaasisina, I saw that there was a launch of the Pacifica Sports Collective drive-through vaccination events to be held this Friday and Saturday. And for you, I saw my and who's behind it, who's organizing it, and what can our community people expect? Will there be any incentives? Because
yeah, so like I said, there's so many events happening at the moment, but there's always those unique events that I really feel like as a lead outreach program, leading this outreach vaccination program at the moment, there's always those events that you really need to capture and really target it and focus on a specific group. So this specific collective, a sports collective team, they have come together, and it's in the group there's legends like Tualetai Famuina, David Tua, and Namulau Ulu, Lama Yeremia, Racha Tuifaasisina was there as well today. Former Silver Ferns, Vangana, Linda Vangana, and also a very quite well-known league player, Luisa. I don't get your last name, but all these people, and also Lemanu Semosititi, and Cynthia Ta'ala, there's a whole lot of legends. They have come together as sports people to really bring out a message around their community as well on how to rally the athletes and also the young people who are involved in sports, that if you want to stay in your game, you have to get vaccinated or get your shot. So I think that's the message that they're wanting to get it out, building up to the event on Friday and Saturday. So today, we launch a huge media for the Pacifica Sports Collective with our Honourable Minister Aupito, and also the Minister and Peter Drive doctors were also there. They're all putting their support behind this collective so that we can reach another cohort that we haven't really targeted and focused any vaccination event towards. So, so I think they are looking at hopefully getting about 1,000 vaccinating, up to 1,000 people for 2 days. And there's also rugby clubs and league clubs are all behind this collaboration. I think from league, cricket, netball, basketball, and Auckland rugby as well are all behind this collaboration. So I think that the message today was, if you want to stay in your game, get your shot.
Thank you so much, Tuifaasisina. Now, if you are wondering why are we using this, sports people to promote and raise awareness about this event, is because the message is we need to give Delta, the high tackle, so you sports people can get back into your games and get back into the sports that you love. So you can play the game, you can play league, you can go back to netball, cricket, rugby, or whatever sports you play. So Pacific athletes, young athletes, sports people, bring your whānau, bring your family, your mates to this event on Friday and Saturday and get jabbed. And I cannot wait to get down to level 1 because I want to celebrate Christmas with my loved ones. Now, Scopa, what a great initiative by Scopa, the Samoa College Old People's Association, to come in and also contribute to the mahi and the kaupapa, and support you, Tuifaasisina, as a leader who is in the Northern Region Health Coordination Centre. Can you share a little bit about the Scopa event this Saturday at Te Motu Samoa?
Ioi whawhitai whai o lea nganga whawhitainga, Lorenzo, ile nei vaitaimi o maile pokalame. We arrive at this stage and wo to tele nisi wo mawhai o na awai mai ma tu maile tau au, and they want to support, they want to target their families, they want to target their friends. their people that they affiliate with, their networks, and the groups that they associate with. So the SCOPA is Samoa College Old Pupils Association, and they know that Ngalaman Mana Baifangaloa Naseri is also an old pupil of Samoa College. So they're going to collaborate with our health provider, Pacifica Health Group, to come together and target that their families, because you know that all these groups originate from Samoa, and it's a way that you stay in touch with your schoolmates, with your school community in Samoa. So they're going to do a vaccination. They're going to hold a vaccination event at the Whare Samoa, Mota Samoa, I Mangele Beta Drive. So I'm looking forward to that as well, because I know it's going to encourage other association and other old pupils association, other school like Aveles, St. Joseph, Marist, St. Mary's, other groups to really step up as well. But I think it's really lovely to see them leading that group, leading that part as well of getting their vaccination event organized and target their families and their friends and their school communities.
You know, the best thing about all these drive-through events, you know, for vaccination is that everyone, different ages, are coming together. You know, last week, the youth had their turn. This week, it's an older generation that's having their turn. And then next week, it's a whole Pacific that will be coming together at Mount Smart Stadium to drive. And like I said, we need to give Delta the biggest high tackle because we want to get back down to level 1. Now, Tuifaasisina Pacific vaccination rates, how are we doing? Are we nearly there, or are we slowly getting there?
We are slowly getting there, but we are so optimistic that we're going to get to our 100% by December or the 1st of January, 2022. And I often tell you that we have set our own roadmap or our own target to 100%. And for the reasons for that, because we got an unenrolled population in the small clinics, in the GP general practices. We also got a youthful population, and also we have to consider the young under 12 that haven't been vaccinated yet. So when we set our target, our Pacifica roadmap for vaccination, we set it up in a higher target of 100%. So where we at, we're all above 80% now, with 67% of that 100% who have been fully vaccinated. So we are over above 80 for those who have at least one dose. But we really want to look at those cohort that they haven't done their second dose to utilize the events this weekend, especially for Super Saturday. If you went to all the events of Super Saturday and got your first dose, so this is the weekend due Wilo second dose. So we're just encouraging everybody who are due for their second dose, please go and do your second vaccination, and that will help you get 95% of protection of the Delta virus.
Now you heard it, you know, we are now sitting at maybe 68 or 69% fully vaccinated, but let's run to the destination. Let's not stop, getting there slowly or walking. We need to run to the destination so we can achieve 90% by the end of this month. On Super Saturday, 3 weeks ago. This weekend, you are now due for your second jab, okay? Now go to one of these events if you want to know more information, more details. Check out the Pacific Health Talanoa Facebook page for more details. And don't forget, if you get jabbed at one of these events, you may walk away with a Percy card, food voucher, or a food parcel. Now, Tuifaasisina, why Pacific? Why Polynesian populations? Why are they the only ones that are putting up this pop-up events? Why not Asians? Why not Palangi? is it a call from the Ministry of Health, or is it a call from our Pacific leaders, our Pacific community, to set up this pop-up vaccination event to target our own people?
Yeah, Faftaina and Fafsini, Lelaukalia Fasamo, and then I'll explain it as well for the non-Samoan listeners. So, ole mafua angai wa takenai BLA Pasifika and Maori as well. We all know o Pasifika ma tangata Maori foi e tele o whamai e isi whamai e mawai ia o tātou tangata ia mese a tātou tangata matatua. There's a whole lot of multiple illnesses that we have later whamatanaina. So, mawala tātou ile COVID, e whaingo fie nawa ona tingaina ma ave tātou ile whanimai. Ole operating a whaila tātou health system, it's a whole system like o whanimai, primary care, ia ole whaite tingana. Ine te uwale lava le service I mawhai o na maua atu ele e whale mai. Ia alela to tele tātou tangata o le āti ngā ina ma maua e whamai. So we need e pei lava o le tana whoilea, le ambulance. You have to treat your people before you get into them. Yeah. So I will explain it later. So e kakau lava la ona tāke kako ia fo ia owane moa tātou tangata I le whamai. Ia ona moa la ia e te tau ona o atu te tonu o le whale mai. Ia le moa ni awa noa e mawhai ona tree tai e fo mai. Ia o le se fo I mea whai tete ai tātou. O lea wa tele ona ngai oi ia whanmai I le vaina o tangata COVID. Ia ale fia I isi toi ngā mai e te tau ona awe e o tātou tangata I te tonu o le whanmai and get the treatment that they need. But o le mere tupu, o e tō tele lava tātou tangata Pasifika ma Māori e le whatinoina o lato tui. O le non-Pacific people got really high vaccination rates because na whaona le awa noa ma o e whai o lato tui au tātou. O lea lava na whaiwhaiana na o whai ia that we have slowly, we started very slow to go and get vaccinated. So o le tūlanga na o lea wa tamawhai lava Pasifika ia and our brothers and Maoli e kam whai lava ia target ia le tūlanga lea ona a pui tātou. Yeah, we for your tato tangata we uma tato community, so we are vulnerable to get the Delta virus, and then because of all other multiple illnesses that we have as well. So ole tūlanga ngā Lorenzo, just to give you a picture of why we are so targeting our people. It's not like we're targeting everyone in New Zealand, but our vaccination rates are quite low compared to non-Pacific and non-Māori.
Thank you so much, Tuifaasisina. All these pop-ups, drive-through vaccination events are led and driven by the community. Why? Because existing clinics or existing, the permanent vaccination centers, such as the one in Otara, are not really culturally or young people inclusive or safe. Non-Pacific events. But us, we're not the kind of people that would go into a vaccination center and read a book and and wait for your turn. We are the kind of people that go to a drive-through vaccination and hear that music pump, and then to take that fear away and get you really into the spirit, of getting vaccinated before you get jabbed. So whether we've got the support or, with officials from the top, the government or ministries, Pacific communities, we still move regardless if they are in or behind us or not. We still move. Tuifaasisina, Eisi tata events o le whaalongo le hele event tu walu e ama I tatou o taraka paka a. E mai o le whaasoa mai. Ele leila mata whaasoa. Amol mole lava events o mai. So that our people can make their own decision and make their own choice. Amol mole.
Yeah, ole foi ele tato event le out to Vanuan community out in Henderson. So ona foi Tuvalu community as well. They are doing so well as well. E pe ona titilo atu I vai aso te tasi uma. O matano mai lalo ia tato ethnic data. Be o Samoa ia o foi lalo tato ethnic data ni nei vai aso, as well as the Tongan community, the Cook Island community, the Niuean community, Tokelau community, Fijian community, so and also a Tuvalu community. So it's really nice to see, to note that every week, as we're tracking our data and monitoring our data every week, we see this ethnic data coming down, reducing. Yeah, o le temila nei o le Lafaele le vaccination event le Tuvalu in Henderson. Le se isu e mai le pepa le mele Lafaele le event Tuvalu, but also there's a Tongan event as well happening in Mangele as well, lead my Lako youth. Tongan are doing so well as well for their event. And all the events that the Tongan community are having as well. And then I fear for this event and then a flea market. Olevaina na Tato South Seas. They've been stationing themselves at the Otara flea markets for the last 2 weeks, and they're doing so well. Even last Saturday, or last weekend, for Inga celebrate Halloween. So they put up an event for the children and the families. They all dressed up in superheroes. So I think all innovative there, and our providers are trying all different ways to really encourage, but also making vaccination an enjoyable journey. I think that's the other reason why our Pacifica health groups are really trying, our providers are really trying different ways, different innovative ways and innovation to look at whatever way that you're going to track and encourage people to come forward, and making sure that their journey is enjoyable journey. And I know that they had coffee, ice cream, they had barbecue, they were doing all sorts of things to really cater to families and provide that holistic experience and that holistic approach to health and getting your vaccination as well.
Well, I must acknowledge, the hard work of all our Pacific healthcare providers, from South Seas Healthcare, the Pacific Family Health Group, Beta Drive Healthcare, LPHO, Alliance Health Plus. You guys are the real heroes, and you guys are the real superheroes. Now, did you know that our Honourable Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, has said that you cannot travel out of Auckland during the holiday season if you're not fully vaccinated? Oh my gosh, why would you not get vaccinated if you want to travel out of Auckland to visit your families? Now, that's the message Pacific Health Talanoa says, and encourage you all to get vaccinated this weekend. So come the holiday season, you can pack your kara, your waka, and travel down to somewhere down the line to visit your loved one. Now, any final message from Tuifaasisina for our people?
Yeah, malo lava le saunoa malo foi faso le nea wauli. I think I picked up on what was shared at the sports, at the Pacifica Sports Collective launch today. They all had different messages, and it really resonated with a lot of people, and it really touched the hearts of many people that were there. There were so many clubs, rugby from different sports, the league, the netball, the cricket, rugby, Auckland. But the message that I picked up was that one message from Vagana Linda was that my family, I've got a 80-year-old, and I've got an auntie who is also 75, and I've got a sister-in-law, and then sisters all around their 40s and their 50s, and then I've got nieces who are 16, 14, and 12, and even under the age. That is a Pacifica family, and then you need to do your part as part of your bubble, to protect your bubble, but to protect your family and to protect your team. So that was a really fantastic message to give it out there, that it's not only you, it's you. There's a whole lot of people that's standing behind you. You've got an extended family. So it's a privilege to be in a family, but you have a responsibility as well to make sure that each one of your family or each one of your team member is well protected. And then there was also the message from Racha Tuifaasisina. He said, I'm the only breadwinner I'm the breadwinner of the family. So in order for me to be able to get back on the field and play rugby for my family, I need to get vaccinated and protect my family. So that was a really lovely message as well. And then from Wina Tuatatai, David Tua, he said, I am at risk. I've got other multiple illnesses. So I need to get vaccinated because and I will put my family at risk. And members of my family who are not vaccinated need to be vaccinated so I can be protected as well. So I think that's a message for us to take away. We are not alone. We're not an individual. There's always people. There's always your brothers and sisters. There's your family, immediate family. Then there's your extended family. And then there's your ahinga, your village, your country. And then we all have a responsibility to make sure all our loved ones are protected.
Wow. Hola to Gloria Sanchez Watanabe. Thank you so much for tuning in on the Pacific Health Talanoa today. Also, Malai Puletau Vao. He's written a very a compliment, comments for you, Tuifaasisina. He says, Malo Tuifaasisina tau tua alua oe o le toa ilo le fefe approach, your no fear approach. What people fears and confusion is, keep up the strong work. And there is a message from the Pacific Health Talanoa and Blue TV Tuifaasisina for you today, as to keep going, maintain your no fear approach, and we will see you at the Pacifica Sports Collective event on Friday. Whaptai tele lawa whamanuele tūre nea uli soi foia.
Whaptai lava lawa fionga, whaptai foi leo whaingaluenga, e la longa lava le anganga whaptai, and grateful and thankful for this opportunity that we can update and Talanoa with everyone. Whaptai lava whamanuele tue tō ngaluenga fo.
Tamatai ia puna fionga whanatua ia Tuifaasisina Maria Lafaele, a member of the Pacific Leadership Team from the Northern Region Health Coordination Center, with our COVID-19 weekly updates. We'll see her again next Wednesday. We're going to take a break and we'll come back and we're going to give you some updates about the numbers for today. See you soon. Blue TV, and our COVID updates for today, the 3rd of November 2021. Pacifica vaccination rates in Auckland, Tamaki Makaurau, eligible Pacific peoples that are first dose vaccinated, 86%. Wow, we are 4% away from 90. And 70 fully vaccinated in Auckland. Pacific populations in Auckland are now sitting at 70% fully vaccination. But in New Zealand, 88% with first dose in New Zealand, and 76% fully vaccinated. We are 14% away from reaching 90%. 100 new cases in the community in New Zealand, 97 in Auckland, 3 in the Waikato. Additionally, there are 10 new cases in MIQ or Managed Isolation Quarantine Facilities. 58 people in hospital, 3 in ICU. Now, talo pia mo ila tau lofa pena na fata otolia I mautanga se ngase le nei yaso our tato updates, and that is our episode for today, the 3rd of November 2021, Pacific Health Talanoa on Blue TV. Thank you so much. Shout out to our producers, Rams and Ryan, and my colleagues at Blue TV. Thank you so much. Don't forget to tune in at 5 o'clock. Mr. Asiata will be on the Blue TV with the Asiata Tautaiae Peatale Tula Elima. I'm Renee Taimi. Paso i fuia manu tere nei afiafi alufa